Hello and welcome to Dire Bear. It's Tuesday night, so of course that means we're playing Remnant Shadow, our Star Wars actual play. I'll be your GM for the evening, Jason. And with me as usual will be Rappy playing Keltzer, Eric playing the Captain, Duba playing Doc, Jeremy playing Ozen, and Sarah playing Io. So let's see. Last session, we left off. Actually, we didn't really leave off. Y'all had pretty well wrapped that up. You had a little encounter with the local syndicate on a planet. Not one of the larger crime organizations, but one known to be in the area. Or at least 3 of you did. The other 2 were off working on a bounty.
Yeah.
So this week we start up on another relatively small planet. This one over close to Hilt, which is
Hilt, as in like the sword.
I believe it's spelled the same. I mean, it looks like Hilt, yeah.
Interesting.
Hilt itself is at like a crossroads between 2 different trade routes, but if you're looking at a map, it's kind of on the north part. You know, it's as much as space has a north. But anyway, you were contracted to carry some cargo. You have dropped that off without a hitch.
You know the question.
Give yourself 1,000 credits. You had decided to spend a couple of days resting, looking for more work before leaving this place.
Ozen has to go see the watering holes. Never ever to drink, just to eat some nachos and watch people fight.
How Jedi of you.
I'm trying to think of what bar food in Star Wars would probably be like.
Depending on the planet, probably an insect.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have peanuts, but these roaches we have on this planet really taste like peanuts. Here, try one.
Just as crunchy.
Oh, God.
It probably wouldn't be roaches. It'd probably be more like grubs.
Slimy yet satisfying.
If you deep fry them, they probably crunch good.
We've alienated our entire Twitch chat.
Just the ones that don't like grubs. So anyway, y'all are doing whatever y'all would be doing on a small, not super industrialized world. I mean, you're in one of the main cities, so it's, it's not terribly backward.
We're not talking like feudalistic like that one planet that we were in.
No,
earlier.
Nothing like that. This is, they're part of Corp Sec. They've got spaceports and all that jazz.
Okay.
It's just not one of your more larger, wealthier planets.
For sure.
So let's see. Who would be out wandering around? We know Ozen would be.
I was gonna say,
that a
Wasn't
Deadpool
just like
shirt you're wearing?
see. Yes,
Oh,
it is triple digits once again, and I am not. I am not about sleeves. I am barely about clothes right now. I am not about sleeves.
fair, fair. I think it's supposed to be 96 around here tomorrow.
It was 100 here when I was leaving work.
It is currently. Oh, it went down a degree to 99.
99 makes all the difference. That
Yeah.
1 degree.
Yeah, sure.
Psychologically, it does. So anyway, who else would be wandering around town?
Elser probably would be.
Okay.
Is there any kind of a black market on this planet worth talking about?
Sure, there'd be a black market. Worth talking about kind of depends on what you're looking for.
I'll get back to you on that when I think of something to look for.
Oh, okay.
A gun for BL.
I mean, fair enough if she was told to go try and hunt down a gun since she seems to have better luck finding black market.
All right, give me a. What is it we usually let you roll for that? Is it streetwise?
Streetwise,
Wise.
All right, give me a streetwise roll.
15.
Oh, 15. Nobody around here really wants to talk to you about it.
Fair enough.
You know, you're pretty sure a couple of the people knew what you were talking about, you know, or what you were hinting at. But nobody took the bait. Ozen, you're perusing the.
Yeah.
Probably some of the cheaper establishments.
Yep.
It's pretty run of the mill. I mean, this place is not. This place isn't too rough.
Okay. Just hanging out, eating some grubs apparently.
Local delicacy.
Well, yeah.
Have a very nutty flavor.
Famous. Yeah. Famous
Kinda like-
hilt worms.
Kind of like boiled peanuts.
A little bit of wiggle.
Not after you fried it.
Directly after yes, not when you're ingesting them. Fair enough.
You gotta make sure they're cooked thoroughly, or else they become parasites in your intestines. You know, like you gotta be real careful cooking them, like if you cook, you know, pork or bear. What would Keltzer be looking into?
Probably local bounties.
Okay. So you're at the local bounty board. Let's see. So there's 3 of you running amok. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Keltzer.
Mm.
You're poking around the bounty board, and there's not a lot that jumps out at you. I mean, there's a few up there. Nothing. Nothing real pricey. Nothing real tempting. As far as looking for something local, I mean, there are bounties up there that are system wide, but you know.
Mm-hmm.
But as you eventually go to return to the ship, give me a perception or awareness in this one. Perception roll.
That's a 14.
Okay.
Option's not my strongest suit.
That's why you work in a group. Other people can point out who you need to shoot. Shoot that one.
Exactly.
Well, this fella is not doing a real good job of hiding from you.
Mm-hmm.
However, when you spot him, he seems to realize he's been spotted. He takes his hands out of his pocket and approaches you.
Can I help you?
I certainly hope so.
Okay.
I noticed you watching the bounty board, or checking out the bounty board earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Is it safe to assume that you're a bounty hunter then, or
Safe to
at
assume
least
yes
some sort
that
of
I
independent
am.
agent?
Are you wearing your Mando armor?
Yeah.
That's a funny thing to say. Then
Hey.
You would,
Not all Mandos are bounty hunters.
He
That's
doesn't want
fair.
to give in to stereotypes.
True.
That's fair.
Sure, a
But,
lot of
like-
Mandos are bounty hunters. Sure, she was looking at a bounty hunter board. But let's not jump to conclusions.
Sure, she's got a name tag that says, "Hi, my name is Kelser, bounty hunter."
Do you have a bounty on you? Would you like one? He tells you his name's Devbo.
Devbo?
Devibo.
Okay.
Or Devbo. I'm not sure how you say it. He might have a job for you if you're interested. It's not exactly a bounty, though it does involve taking somebody to somebody else.
Okay. What's the pay?
I just so happen to have something in my possession that I think you might be interested in.
Mm-hmm.
And out of his pocket, he pulls out a small metal rectangle.
Ah. Okay.
I trust you know what this is.
Oh boy.
And
I
he's,
do.
he's kind of standing where he's trying to make sure nobody, outside of you can really see it.
Yeah.
I can give you this up front.
Mm-hmm.
And your passenger's father will give you another one upon delivery.
Okay.
He slides the middle back down into his pocket. Pulls out an ID. It identifies him as a security operative for Corp Sec.
Okay.
one
And
of
with
the-
you saying father, I'm assuming it's a child.
Yes, I suppose. Well, young woman.
Still a child
She's
to
15,
somebody.
so yes, I suppose. She's currently locked in carbonite, so it doesn't really matter.
Okay.
That escalated quickly.
Yes, well,
I mean, most people just ground their children, but damn.
strict disciplinarians in Corp Sec.
I was fixing to say that's kind of extreme there, but
If you
hey.
act up, it can affect the bottom line, and we can't have that. But no, he goes on to explain that she was kidnapped by Remnant agents. Or yeah, he'd probably just say Imperial agents. Probably planning to use her to her safety to influence her father. Her father is an executive in Corp Sec. Sam Rich Wayne Kane.
Okay.
Which anybody, if any of you really have been keeping up with the politics in the corporate sector, you might have heard that name.
Okay. Yeah.
Uh,
All right.
but
So where does she need to be delivered to?
you would be going to ETTI. It's one of the major planets in the system, or in the sector, I should say. And I think y'all have been there before. It's another one of those. It's at the crossways of like six different trade routes. Yeah, he's like, this job is not without danger. The whole reason that I'm trying to pass it off to somebody else is I'm quite certain Imperial agents have tracked me to this world and are following me. I mean, not like right this very moment, but so he needs somebody not connected to him or not connected to Corp Sec particularly to finish dropping her off while he tries to lure his pursuers away.
Give me a quick second. She'll
Of
go on
course.
comms and ask where Captain is at the moment.
I'm at the ship. Why?
I need you to meet me at this location ASAP. I'm not in any trouble
Yet.
yet. I haven't killed anybody either.
Yet.
Yet.
Devbo takes his hands a little bit further away from his pockets.
And she'll look at him and be like, I just need to talk to my captain real quick.
Of course.
So he'll be on his way.
Captain
Y'all
his
just
head.
gonna stand on the sidewalk till he
The
gets there.
captain his head like I don't remember agreeing I was going any fucking where, but I guess I am now. And he'll head out there.
Right.
Oh, with him saying he's being pursued, she didn't want to take him back to the ship.
All right, so I guess the captain loads over the speeder and takes off.
Yeah, he will.
Take anybody with you?
There's no one else on the ship but Doc.
But he's a dog with a gun now.
He'll take BL with a rifle to stay in the back seat.
Damn, stiffed by an NPC that's cold.
All right, so a few minutes later, you pull up to the sidewalk.
Mm-hmm.
Keltzer is standing there talking to another man who's dressed pretty nondescriptly.
Get in. We're going on a drive.
Devbo looks over at Keltzer. Your captain, I assume?
Yep.
He kind of waits to see which seat Keltzer takes.
She'll sit next to the captain since BL's in the back seat, right?
Yep.
All right, so Devbo sits in the back seat with BL.
And the captain will just kind of drive around as they talk. So it's not a bunch of people standing on the side of the road having a chat.
Yeah, so she'll catch the captain up. On the situation.
So let me get this straight. You're on the run from the Imperial Remnant.
Check.
Trying to get somebody away from the Imperial Remnant to their family.
That is correct, sir.
And you plan on contracting one of the most infamous ships in Corp Sec for dealing with the Imperial Remnant that they are very well aware of
He just sits there and blinks at you. What, what, what ship do you? I literally
Think
just saw a
back.
man. I literally just saw a Mando.
Think back very, very hard to the news recently, past few weeks, maybe a month.
There has been one group with a Mando in the news. Oh, and y'all were involved with that, finding that research station. I don't know that I have a whole lot of choice, and at least I know you wouldn't turn over to the Remnant because they'd probably shoot you on sight.
Just making sure you're aware of the heightened inherent dangers of sending her with us.
Yes.
Furthermore,
Still got to
The
be
only
better than
for-
her being with me at the moment, though.
the only form of payment that's been offered is something that's of no use to me.
You could sell that anywhere for quite a bit of money.
Or I could use it to get better armor with the people we've been going up against.
I mean, to be fair, I was kind of bartering with what I had. It's one reason your friend's armor drew my attention. I'm sure her father would be willing to give you, credits, an equivalent amount of credits for the other half of the payment. I mean, that would. You have to talk to him about that.
You and her father are throwing me and my crew directly into the line of fire with the Remnant again.
This is what the amount we're offering you is quite substantial. Yes, it is a dangerous job, but I was making sure Miss Keltzer here, was aware of the danger.
Are you in contact with her father?
Not at this very moment. I'm a little concerned that my communications may be under observation.
He'll pull out his spare comm unit. Call him.
Yes, sir.
And let him know that if I do this, considering our history with the Remnant, I'm also going to be demanding 25,000 in addition to the Beskar.
Somebody answers the other end. He identifies himself. This is Agent so and so, or Agent Devbo. I need to speak to the Mr. Wayne Kane. And there's a few minutes away because Wayne Kane's in a meeting or something, and but he gets him on the comm. He's talking to him. He tells him who you are, why he was doing what he was doing. Basically, everything he's told you, he's kind of relayed to this guy.
Mm-hmm.
And you hear the man on the other end tell him, yeah, fine, pay him what he wants. Or I'll pay him tell him I'll pay him what he wants when he gets here. Yes, it's the same rendezvous point. And then Devbo, gets off comm, hands it back to you. He finds your deal agreeable.
Fine, where is she?
She's at the spaceport. We managed to carefully unload her like cargo.
How quaint.
Well, it's the same way I snuck off my ship in just in case we were under observation. And he explains that they stocked up on supplies. Well, when some of the crates of supplies came in, they emptied them, put the block she's in, and in one of the crates, and he hid in there as well. They took her back. They took her back out and stashed her somewhere.
Do you still have her in that crate?
Yes.
Well, looks like we've just done a transaction, and I need to pick up some cargo.
He's like, can I, let me borrow your comm one more time. And you hear him radio one of his men, tell him who to be expecting to pick the cargo up. He asks you what bay your ship's in, or are you going to come send your loader to pick it up yourself?
I will be collecting the cargo myself.
All right. In that case, he finds out where they've got it stashed right at the moment and tells you, where you can pick it up at.
Right. And once he has that information, he's basically gonna pull by a random street corner and stop and say, "Get out."
He gets out.
And then he'll just pull away.
Completely forgetting to actually take the best car from the guy. Brilliant.
Didn't he give it to Keltzer already?
No, he showed it to Keltzer.
Ah.
But no, he makes sure to give you your payment before you drive off.
Okay. I thought he had given it to her already.
Oh, okay. So yeah, he hops out and immediately just starts, just casually walking.
What I've heard, I was gonna say, what I've heard, the original thing on the comm, where Kelser was calling for the captain.
Depends if she was common if she's just kind of using the group channel for everybody, or if she was specifically calling the captain.
Probably just specifically calling the captain.
Okay.
He'll comment, Ozen, Io, where are you right now?
Wandering the fine city.
Catching a bar fight. No, I'm kidding. There's nothing going on over here.
Right. I need the two of you to get back to the ship.
I'll
Who
be
got
there in a little
shot?
bit.
No one got shot.
Yet?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be yet.
Alright.
It's gonna be one of those jobs.
Alrighty, I'll be there in a bit. And she gets up and heads on over.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So, Captain, you would get back. You're in a speeder. You'd get back to the ship first.
Mm-hmm. And he'll just tell the loader droid to go pick up the cargo, have BL escort it.
So it goes. Let's see. I don't even know what the loader droid looks like.
Just looks like a standard droid with like arms and legs, right? Just like ksh, ksh.
Pretty much.
Very stiff movements.
For some reason, I was thinking of like a robotic power jack or hand jack that picks up crate. I have no idea.
Not quite that. Let me picture of it.
Oh, this looks like something RoboCop would fight.
Yeah.
It's one of the versions of a loader droid, so it just depends on what loader droid it is.
Mm-hmm. But okay, something with
Yeah.
legs and big clampy
Pretty
arms.
much. Yeah.
Ambulatory forklift.
Yeah. All we pretty much said is it's a loader droid. we didn't specify what kind it was because it's literally just background. I move cargo.
He's had a hard time playing Sabacc since the buzz droids are gone.
No, because it has two giant pinchers for hands.
Right. But all right, the two droids go walking off. They fetch the crate without incident. Bill does tell you when they get back that the ship that was in a bay across from where this cargo was left, which he didn't know for sure if that's the agent's ship or not, but he did note that it seemed to be under observation by people. People that were trying to look busy but weren't really doing anything. He might not have noticed other than y'all's recent experience. Where he got to spend most of the day watching people do that.
Yeah.
But yeah. The loader comes in, sets the crate down. Starts to do the equivalent of strapping it in.
As it's being loaded into the ship, I assume I've gotten to the ship at this point.
Yes. By the time they get back with it, everybody back on the ship.
I just kind of giving it up and down and just scope it out. Is it still in a crate or is it out?
Oh, it looks like a big cargo crate.
Okay, then
I say big. I mean something 5x5 or something.
Okay. I would like to take some time to just scope it out.
Okay. On the outside, it looks like a typical crate because it is a typical crate. Now, if you crack it open and look inside, you see a young girl looks like she's asleep, but looks almost like a sculpture of a young girl asleep, but it's in a block of carbonite, and you see the lights on the indicator lights on the side for the life support.
And there's the life support. Okay, there's no
monitoring or whatever it is.
Okay. Is there anything else on here like a tracker or this is what I'm looking for? I'm looking for like trackers and stuff like that.
Okay. So you're basically getting it taken out of the case to give it a good thorough going over.
Yes. Yeah, I'm gonna be discreet because it's still a little girl, but still don't want to be tracked by somebody just because we have we're doing ostensibly a good thing. Trust but verify.
Okay. You don't find any trackers attached to it.
Cool.
Yeah, because it's just the block with the little metal strip around the side with the controls.
Alrighty, that's fine with me.
So once y'all got your passenger strapped in, what are you gonna do?
Right. I assume the guy gave us the rendezvous location.
Yes.
Okay.
And we do have the best car piece, right?
Correct.
The captain will start searching for that location to start plotting a course.
Okay. Like I said, it's one of the major worlds along a travel route, so the quickest thing for you to do would be to go back to Hilt, which is the biggest planet in the area. And then run across the I can't even pronounce that. The something or other shunt, which drops down to the Hadrian Way, which is of course the big one. And from there, you switch one or two more trade routes, and you'll get to Yeti pretty quick.
All right. I figures that out. Hey, Io.
Yep.
Now you can see if you can find any Imperial traffic along this route.
Yep.
He'll hand her the route.
She'll start looking. Which one would roll?
Okay, what exactly is it you're trying to figure out?
If there's Imperial traffic along the route they're taking, or record of.
Okay. Would it be a perception though, or technical?
And considering using the computers versus our eyes.
That's true, but you're really just searching through information to see if anything sticks out. But yeah, in this case, go ahead and use your computer.
Programming and repair or security.
Are you actively trying to hack into anything? Or are you
Nope,
just correlating
so
information?
programming.
Pardon?
Nope.
Okay. In that case, go with programming.
16.
Alright, 16. The short answer is no. You don't find any indication of any Imperial traffic. With tensions cranking up, Corp Sec hasn't actually been letting the Empire in. I mean, that doesn't stop incursions along the border, of course, but and Hilt is relatively close to one of the edges, but as you move further in, it should be safer, especially if you shoot straight down to the Hadrian Way. Or excuse me, Hadian Way, which is kind of in the heart of the. You correlate through all the old, any news reports claiming Imperial sightings, any public records. And there's really nothing along the path you're traveling.
Okay. Still, just to be safe, once they're in the air, she will change the name of the ship.
Okay.
Back to the Bright Lakota.
That's right. Y'all have not gotten up into any mischief under that name yet.
Nope.
Not yet.
As you're leaving, you do see a news report. Basically, as you're getting ready to jump out of the system, of a little scuffle and shooting at the docking bay you just left.
Oh shit!
They don't know exactly what went on. It's just like two different random groups of people seem to have gotten into it about something.
So it's not syndicate.
Nobody says who these people belong to. No arrests have been made at the moment either. It was a couple of shots were exchanged. From the sound of it, though, it did not involve the crews of, as far as I know, the crews of any of the ships.
Okay. Oh, you're talking about the one we were in before, like from last session.
The one y'all are just leaving right now.
Gotcha.
The guy got shot. I'm guessing.
We don't know.
I'm guessing too.
Well,
there is a report of 2 fatalities.
Oof.
But no identification as to who it was.
we've got work to do. Let's get it done.
Okay. Flying along the trade route, you have you don't have any issues with the astrogation for this because you're literally just following major trade routes, which is like the easiest thing to do.
Yeah.
So yeah, you drop down to the Haitian Way, put across to Diane, D''IN.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Or maybe that's a star on the map and not an apostrophe after the DI. I can't tell. I need a better map. And then from there, you drop just a little ways. You know, you change trade routes, drop just a little ways down to Eddie. As you arrive in system, you know, typical the guys that tax you and make you pay port fees when you land.
Oh yeah, customs.
Yes.
You know, the typical custom guys. You get the typical questions. You know, how long do you plan to be here? What brings you here? You know.
Business, and business.
Is it in bad form just to throw a carbonated child out of the back of the ship, or
Yes.
when they carbonated her, they can't really care too much?
Well, you know, it never really came up whether the agent did that or whether that's how he found her when the Empire had her.
Either way.
Either way, somebody in this chain of events did not care much for the child.
Isn't carbonite like expensive? Like
I don't
enough
think so,
of it
because I think they were using it as a preservation thing. They just never really, until Empire, they hadn't really tried it on a living person successfully.
Okay, I figure it. You know, you're encasing a humanoid body in it. Must cost a pretty penny to do that.
Because, you know, it was something Cloud City just already had set up.
Yeah.
As far as the basic mechanics.
It was used like before hyperdrive for early spacers.
Yeah.
For long voyages.
That checks. All right.
So you land. The instructions he gave you, you know, told you, gave you a frequency to send a coded message on, so they know to, you know, when to meet you at the rendezvous point. But it is just information packets sent back and forth, not actual verbal communication with anybody.
Yep. It's like the equivalent of just like clicking the walkie-talkie. It'd be like.
So you get the coordinates, you look the coordinates up. It's basically it's a business section of town that you're gonna be meeting at. But after hours, when it should be fairly empty.
All right.
But yeah. So once you've landed, you've got a few hours before you need to head out to make the delivery.
How big is this cargo crate?
I think he said
About
5x5.
5x5.
So probably too big to put in the speeder and drive there.
Yes. The little carbonite block with her itself, you could fit that in the back seat without too much trouble. You know, maybe wrap it in a blanket or something. So
Just put a blanket over it. Do you still have to cover the? Do you still have to like uncover the face and head to be like to let them breathe, or are they just
No.
encased in that? Okay.
Now the person is inside there essentially in like suspended animation,
Okay.
so she is not aware that time is passing.
Okay. Then yeah, that could be something we do. How heavy is it? Is it like real heavy
Very.
or very? Okay.
It's
So
heavy.
we would have to put the loader droid to put it in the, and then the speeder's going to be like this the whole time.
You could also rent like a cargo truck, well, cargo speeder.
Mm-hmm.
Could also just wake her up.
Then you have to deal with hibernation sickness.
Yep, the temporary blindness, the her not knowing who you are.
Mm.
We have the means to do that.
I mean, it
Turn
would
off
be
the
in the
life
same
support?
area where the life support is.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. All right.
How long does the hibernation sickness last?
At least a day or two.
Yeah.
If
Like I
I
said,
remember,
you got a few hours, so if you hatched her out now, she's still gonna be blind. I'll take her where she's going.
Yep.
But she'd be able to speak and maybe be able to stand on her own.
yeah.
That's not much.
Do we really want to be trying to navigate a child through all of this?
No.
A giant piece of metal is much more easy to deal with.
We've dealt with a bunch of kids just recently. I would like to not deal with as many as I can. That was a lot.
As I said, you could put her in the back seat. You could also strap her to the roof.
That's a little more.
On the nose.
Yeah. Look what we've got. Shh.
You'd still wrap it in a blanket or something.
It's still pretty suspicious.
You know.
What's the type of population we've got here? Is it another small planet?
No. This is like one of the capitals of the. This may be
The capital of Corp Sec?
essentially.
Okay.
Like I said, there is a lot of trade routes that intersect right here.
Hey, Io, if you want to find a black market, you can probably find it here.
Oh, yes, on the homeworld of Corp Sec.
You know.
There would be one here, though, absolutely. Probably
I'm all
one
for
you could buy
getting-
just about anything.
I'm all for getting this child out of our custody and off of this planet as quick as possible.
Girls, cargo speeder then.
All right, so you run out of the local Wee Hall and grab a speeder.
Hertz rent a speeder.
Hertz doesn't sound sci-fi enough. You got to add like a celestial body or something, like a random planet. Let's like Uranus.
We haul Uranus. Okay.
Well, no, I was thinking about going in front of Hertz, but anyway.
Neither of these are good options.
Still pretty good.
Either we haul Uranus or Uranus hurts.
Well, one of them's an old Delbert joke.
Yeah.
So we'll probably go with the Wee Hall Uranus.
Does the Sol system even exist in this universe?
It's a galaxy far, far away.
In the universe, probably. In the galaxy, no.
Yeah, fair enough.
Though years after Marvel lost the license, you did have I can't remember if it was an X-Men story or who it was, where they're on an alien world and you've got some obvious Imperial walkers that have been, slapped and jury-rigged back together. They're not sure where they're from, just that, very, very far, or very far away, or far, far away.
It's pretty cool.
Because Marvel used to dump all their licensed stuff into their universe.
Yeah.
So, Doctor
Make
Who
it work.
Baxter Building one time. And the only thing that ever crossed over was G.I. Joe. But it crossed over with Transformers, and Transformers crossed over with Spider-Man, so it's who knows.
6 degrees of separation.
Yep, yep.
Yeah.
You know, Godzilla was in their universe until they lost the license and then mutated him into something else. And that something else is still running around in the universe. Alright, but anyway, so y'all get a moving truck, essentially.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah, and it's big enough that the loader joy can walk in with it and, you know, go with you to unload the thing.
Mm-hmm.
If you want.
Yeah.
Have it one of us circles the block until, you know, we can guarantee it's safe.
Everyone looks at Ozin. God damn it.
Why would everybody look at Ozin?
She's really good at that.
I went with the vehicle.
Ah. Never mind. She's not good at that.
Like, so we all don't show up, like, in the moving truck. Hey, here's your daughter, Sickle.
Daughter sick. Ha.
We can keep her. If we're getting a loading speeder, we can keep her in the crate now.
Yeah.
That is true.
He's gonna have BL stay in the back with the droid and the crate as a just in case.
Okay. Okay, so y'all want somebody circling the block, which they could do in y'all's her own speeder. Though it would probably, though y'all's speeder is, you know, looks like a bit of a clunker, so it might stick out a little bit in the business sector.
Yep.
Put a, like, pizza delivery sign on the top. It'll be fine.
It's a Hoth.
All right, so who is going to be in the truck, and who is going to be in y'all's speeder?
No one else drives. I'll be in our speeder.
No, the captain will be driving the truck more than likely. I think he has the best driving skill.
All right, we know BL's in the truck.
Yeah.
Do you want Ozin to be the one that meets up with Dad? Or not Ozin, Kelser,
Oh yeah, that makes more sense.
since she was original point of contact.
Kelser can be in Kelser can be in this speeder, and we're like, hey, they're on their way with the loading thing.
Well, that defeats the purpose of using the speeder to be circling the block to make sure everything's copacetic.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. That that we would be there first, scouting it out, and then meet up and be like, and yeah, since we're already there. Unless I'm missing something.
It's just so the people dealing with the person and the cargo aren't in the same place.
Gotcha.
So,
Okay.
like, you don't get if they get jumped where the cargo pickup is supposed to be, they don't, you know, lose the cargo.
Fair enough.
All right, so is Kelser in the speeder then? Or the truck? Which did we decide?
And that would be up to Kelser.
I'm probably in the truck to make sure nothing goes awry in the truck. If they do, stop it.
Okay. Io, where are you gonna be at?
She'll flip a coin and be wherever they want it to be.
All right.
Since no one's going with Ozin, she'll go with Ozin.
All right. So Io is in the truck.
Alpal
He's in the,
shenanigans.
speeder. Is that everybody? Doc, where is Doc going to be during this?
It's a good question. What are my options in terms of placement?
You can go with him in the truck, which is where the young lady is, or you could be in the speeder.
He'll go in the truck.
Okay. All right, the two of you in the speeder, Ozen and Io. Who's driving?
Io probably is better than I am at it.
Repulsor lift operation, probably.
I think so.
What's yours?
2.
Okay, just barely 2D plus 2.
Yeah, that's fine for basic driving. As long as you got 2 or 3 dice in the stat, you're fine to just hop in a car and drive across town.
Sure.
If there's a high-speed chase or combat in a vehicle,
Uh-huh.
not that that's likely to happen.
Okay, Jason.
Sure, Gene.
The doubt in your voice hurts me. Hurts me deep.
Played a couple games with you.
Played, several games.
We know how
But
you
this
operate.
time is different.
Yeah.
All right. So the two of you in the truck. No, we're not in the truck. In the speeder. Give me perception checks.
Just perception, or since we're specifically looking...
This would probably be search, because y'all are very specifically. This isn't, what are you noticing just casually? This is...
Yep. Hey.
7.
More than that. 12... 20 exactly.
What'd you get?
Huh?
Well, I didn't hear what you said. What you got?
20 exactly.
20, okay. Alright, so you circle around the area you're meeting at, and glance between the buildings. Ozen, you see a couple of speeders sitting there. Well, one of them is pretty typical, just civilian speeder. One of them is like the equivalent of a limo. It's stretched out a little bit. You can't really tell at this distance, but it might be armored to some degree.
We're not going particularly fast around the block, right? We're just kind of like, we're actually doing like a slow crawl around.
I would imagine you're trying not to stick out too badly.
So we're going like the speed limit.
Flying casual.
Yeah.
But they're waiting right where they're supposed to be waiting. Like I said, this is kind of the after hours, so it's not that there isn't any traffic around; it's just a whole lot less than during the day.
She'll come back to the truck. Well, looks like they're there, or somebody else has a very fancy limo in the same location.
We're so good.
Yeah, you go back to the truck, or do you just calm them?
Yeah, she just calmed him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. The captain will start heading that way.
Okay.
I think the play for us is to find like another alley somewhere to park.
Or just keep kind of like patrolling the area.
Well, if we keep circling the area, that's going to look suspicious.
Okay, and then we'll find an alley.
Yeah, just find a nearby alley. At least, some...
you find somewhere that you can park the speeder, and maybe you have to get out of the speeder and kind of look down the alley to actually see what's going on over there.
That's fine. Just kind of like... We can have like one of those moonlight dates where we're just like both on the front of the speeder, just like pointing at the stars.
Oh, I think that was a satellite.
Stupid pollution.
the Corp Sec home planet. You really think you can actually see the stars? Come
Yeah,
on.
the light pollution is going to be pretty bad. All right, Captain,
I think Ozin will calm them too. That like, we're nearby. Just yell if you need.
Mm-hmm.
I
Okay.
bet you 10 credits. This is going to end up as some kind of bantha chase.
Ozin thinks for seconds like, no, that's too easy a bet on your end.
all right. So, Captain, you pull in, to this. It's not exactly an alley, but it's kind of a open area between 4 or 5 buildings. Like a plaza, I guess.
Mhm.
Yeah, there's a fountain. It's fancied up a little bit. No real traffic in there at the moment, though.
Okay.
So you pull up, like I said, there's this limo type speeder there, as well as something that think more of a 4-door sedan sort of thing. Yeah, something you could definitely slide the carbonated young lady into the back seat without any trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, he'll pull up and
Okay.
roll
The
down
front
the
passenger
window.
door of both speeders open, and guys that are clearly security agents step out.
Do we see them from this end?
Yeah, you can see enough to tell what's going on.
Okay.
They're clearly armed. They are not drawing their weapons or anything.
Right.
Like
when I
said,
see that,
obviously security.
when I see that, I will activate enhanced senses.
Okay.
Where'd it go? Magnify senses. There it is.
All right. That requires a roll, right?
Yep.
Okay. Go ahead.
And I believe I made it. Yes, just barely.
All right. Your senses jack up.
Mm-hmm. Just so I can listen in and see better.
So that's what you see at this point. You pulled up, you parked the truck. A security guy gets out of each vehicle, and they're doing the typical. Never let you out of their line of sight, but they're glancing around. And they're just looking at you.
Waiting for you got the stuff? I don't get paid until I see the stuff.
After a minute of just staring through the windshield at each other, one of the security agents the one standing by the limo leans back in the limo, like he's talking to somebody inside.
The equivalent of the ear. It is equivalent of I'm only speaking to the manager.
Finally, the back door of the limo flings open. An older gentleman gets out. I mean, not like ancient, but probably late 50s.
Okay, so slightly older than Ozin.
Maybe closer.
Not quite ancient.
Maybe early 60s then.
Okay.
And he starts stomping towards the truck. Where is she?
You're muted if you're saying anything.
I'm not.
Okay.
I was. I'm not now. He sort of roll down the window. Sorry, I was putting something in my fridge. He just kind of roll down the window and just go like, "And you are?"
Don't play games. You know who I am. Everyone knows who I am.
No, I don't. I need your proof of identification, please. A contract is a contract.
He pulls out his identification and identifies him as Sam Rich Wayne Kane.
And that was the name we were given to deliver
Yes,
him to?
that is the corporate executive, or the Corp Sec executive.
He'd I'll take the ID, look at it. If I remember correctly, I was in the van with him, yeah?
Io and Ozen are
No.
over in the speeder. You've got Kelser,
I've got Kelser, okay.
BL, and Doc.
My brain flipped Kelser and Io. Alrighty. Did this look like a legit ID?
Yeah.
Because I mean, I asked because he has background working with syndicates, so he's familiar with fake IDs. If that's even still a thing in Star Wars.
Probably. But yeah, I mean, without being able to give it just a super examination, it appears legit. He looks like the guy should look. If you looked him up on the HoloNet at any point,
All right. Hope you understand. Security for a contract like this is paramount. I had to be sure you were who you say you are.
Where is my daughter?
I have her in the back. And he'll turn over to Keltzer. He'll go, Keltzer, escort him, please.
I'll hop out of the truck and escort him to the back of the vehicle.
The security guys tense up, when a fully armored man gets out of the other vehicle.
You were warned.
For the boss, maybe. You don't know if he told them there was going to be a Mando or not. So the two of you are walking around the truck. As you're walking around, he kind of snaps his fingers at his guys. One of the men nods, leans in, comes back out with looks like a satchel. And he comes and stands in front of the vehicle, but he's not actually crossing over to y'all yet. Keltzer tells you that's the agreed upon payment.
Okay.
Once he verifies that his daughter is alive and well.
And she'll open the back door.
And so he sees two droids and a big crate.
When we picked her up, and she'll open the lid to the crate.
I guess it's 3 droids, because y'all probably have the loader with you.
Yes.
To actually take the thing in and out, so.
Yeah.
She'll pop the lid and be like, this is how we were handed her.
he looks horrified to see his daughter in carbonite. Now, like I said, she's in a pose like she was asleep when they did this, so she doesn't quite have the horrified look on her face. And he kind of, he practically crawls into the crate to be sure he can see the life support on the side. All right. And he looks over at your loader droid. Have that thing holler out.
Mm-hmm.
He hops back down, with you out of the truck, to get out of the way for the loader. He gestures to the guy holding the satchel. Here, you can have your bloody ransom.
Gotta operate my ship somehow.
You can find better ways to do it than kidnapping.
Who said?
Excuse me.
Who said we kidnapped her?
As the captain actually gets out of the truck and stomps
Yeah,
over.
no.
You
Like,
want to run that by me again?
As you open the door, there's a flash of red light from the top of one of the buildings.
Oh, great.
And Mr. Wayne Kane's head, it just sort of...
Oh.
His security kind of freaks out. It's going to be a thing.
Peltzer, go. And he points right to the building.
She'll go. Did he hand off the bag already, or was it still on his personnel?
No, the security guy was walking across with it still. He was like halfway between vehicles when he suddenly saw his boss's head blown off.
She'll be like, grab that bag, and she'll run towards the building. Well, she'll jetpack.
Priorities. Ozin looks at I was like, all right, you would have won 10 credits. Let's go. We'll get in the speeder.
Can we just have one mission where stuff doesn't go pear-shaped like immediately?
Yeah.
The loader droid's like, do I still unload her?
Back in the truck.
And where he wasn't even completely out of the truck, he just backing up.
Are there any?
The security guy with the satchel drops the satchel and goes for his gun. The other one that was already out at the speeders, he goes for his gun using the door as cover. The back two doors of the sedan style one crack open, and clearly more security guys are getting out.
Are there any panels, like public access panels nearby that like communication or electrical or anything would use?
Give me a perception, or give me a search, since you're actively looking for something.
15.
You think you see like the equivalent of what of an electrical box on the side of a building.
Looks at Ozin, you get that going. I'm gonna probably fuck up something really badly, and just heads towards that.
Good luck.
I'll need it. Over the comms. Probably possible explosion. Just a heads up. It's probably me.
I will actually like before I leave. I actually go. No. You're gonna do this right, and I will try to enhance another's attribute on Io. That is a control roll, easy modified relationship, assuming Io doesn't hate my guts.
Nah.
Hate it. And
out of all of the crew, she possibly hates Ozin second to least.
And the
I'm
alternate.
last. She likes Doc probably more than anybody.
Nah.
That's a no-go.
R2s are
I tried.
ready.
Oh yeah, R2. Our murder dome.
R2 is number one on the list of friends.
Not murder dome. The murder can.
Okay, what does she have to roll to futz with the electricity to, I don't know, blow a breaker or cause a distraction or put the city block into a blackout?
Somehow I had a feeling that's what you were going to do. Okay, first off, the panel is locked. So security roll to get into the panel.
Oh no. It's your least favorite stat.
I have no dice in that stat.
Yeah, I know.
It's like
But
the doctor going back
we
to
need
the
to go
TARDIS.
down the initiative order. All right, so starting at the bottom, the security guys, they plan to shoot all of you.
The ones over there, they can't see us.
Wait,
Yeah, that's true.
The security team for the guy who just got his head exploded plans to shoot us.
Yes.
Yep.
It will all make sense eventually.
Okay.
All right, so you've got the guy between vehicles. We'll call him 1. You've got the second one back by one of the vehicles. Well, you got 3 of them back by that vehicle.
The fact that they're still giving us a satchel in fucking Star Wars times leads me to believe that there's something in there that's really suspect.
No, I'm sure everything about this mission is totally upfront and above board.
And then the guy's head explode.
Yeah.
Your head explode.
Like a watermelon at a Gallagher show.
The part that gets me is they waited specifically until I showed myself. Then he exploded.
That was probably a coincidence.
Jason, it's you.
I was waiting for a
that.
good dramatic moment. It doesn't mean the sniper was waiting for a good
Don't
dramatic
believe that for a second. It's you.
You know,
It's
when he was walking back behind,
fucking
when he was walking back to the behind the truck, Keltzer might have been in the way, and then coming back by, he was talking to you, and he took the shot as soon as he had a clear one. That's all.
Okay.
$5 says it's a bounty hunter.
He's a bounty hunter, not an assassin. Sicko. I mean, sure, he tried to snipe the captain at one time. But...
If the bounty was the guy that just got his head Gallaghered, maybe it's the same guy. If it was, hey, dead or alive, and like, hey, I gotta make this guy's
now
head
I
disappear.
almost wish it was the bounty hunter, just so I could say that he was trying to shoot the captain and missed. He mucked your whole plan up just because he missed the captain.
Hey, you're the DM. It could totally happen.
No.
It's already someone else.
So anyway, the security guys are shooting you. Number 1, we'll shoot at the captain because the captain, the closest target, was just stepping out of the
vehicle.
The other 3 are going to shoot at Keltzer. Big, armored, looks like the most dangerous target.
Yep.
Mandos have a reputation.
Yeah, she's running towards where the shot came from. Flying off.
Which gives him a good view. Doc, what are you doing? You heard the initial sniper blast, sniper shot. And the security guys yelling, and
Just pull the roll down door back down.
Cowabunga it is.
Basically, just turn around and just be like, well, time to go.
Okay,
10
boys,
to
so we
1
may need to find
odds.
us some more organics to hang out with here in a minute.
10 to 1 odd says that we're about to get framed for the guy's murder.
Oh yeah.
We already got framed for kidnapping, so.
You think?
Yeah.
I was just gonna be like, look, can we just not deal with people anymore?
Since the only guy that can back us up has probably been killed on the other planet.
That has not been verified.
That's what I said. Probably.
We've played a game or two with you, though.
We're gonna keep.
Just a few.
We're just gonna uncarbonate her after this. Is what Ozen's gonna be like. Please, just We'll deal with the sickness itself.
If anything, Doc's just gonna be like, well, time for cover.
Oh no.
So you're literally just keeping the other droids safe by lowering the door.
BL's very angry.
Okay, well, let me think.
If the squishies die, we remain.
Hey,
You're
hey,
not
later.
wrong.
Help me prop this carbonite up. We'll hide behind it.
That's terrible. Okay. I guess he'll jump out and or at least get to the closest cover and take action against whoever is trying to attack them.
Okay. So basically, you can step out of the back of the truck and kind of lean around to shoot at the people that are shooting at you. So you still have the truck for some cover. Now, it's not going to help you if that sniper up there keeps shooting, but But that's one guy that can get a good view of you versus the 4 that are out ahead of you. Let's see, in IO, we know what you're doing. You're running over and easily cracking open that security panel.
Yep, like butter.
BL is hopping out of the truck, and he is rounding the side of the truck, which will give him cover from the sniper, because he's kind of hooked up against the side, but advancing where he can shoot the guys out in front of you.
Yeah.
Captain.
He'll tell BL shoot to disable. And he will pull out his pistol and aim for the knees of the guy shooting him.
Kneecap everybody.
Shoot to disable. Might as well tell a butcher. Don't hurt the cow too much. Or the nerf. Ozen.
Yes. Alrighty. Can I see where the laser came from? Can I pinpoint roughly where
Give
can I triangulate?
a perception.
Perception? Alright.
Because you are standing, you're across the road looking down an alleyway. There's 5 in and amongst 5 buildings on the other side.
With heightened senses.
Yes, the heightened senses will help.
18.
No. You can tell, okay, it came from this direction over here. So it's probably on top of one of those 2 buildings.
Okay. I'm not trying to perfectly triangulate. I'm just trying to eliminate.
Yeah, you know what general area to run to.
Sure. I'll start.
If you
I will
wanting to sprint there.
Yep. I will take a dice penalty to keep going that way.
Okay.
So I'm running and then I'm double running to go in that direction. This is probably the quickest Io has ever seen Ozen run in her entire life. Just
I was trying to get down to wherever she's got to get to black out this block.
Yep. And then let's see. I'll pick I'll pick one of them and start scaling a ladder somewhere. Like one of those fire ladders or whatever, just to get up.
Well, these are pretty tall buildings.
Okay.
I mean, not full on, New York skyscrapers, but 15 or 20 stories at least.
Okay. Then I will just go in one and start going up.
Okay. Yeah, you can run into the buildings. They aren't locked down or anything.
Yeah, that's the double move. Just go up and in and all the way up, or as far up as I can get.
Well, double moving, you'd probably get across the street and be heading to one of the doors of one of the buildings.
Okay, that'll work.
You're passing more or less behind the truck. So you're not like running into the crossfire or anything.
Yeah. That'll work. Now I'll radio ahead and be like, headed into one of the buildings. Just let me know if you find them. And that'll be my turn. Or that'll be what I'm doing this turn.
The sniper is doing what the sniper is going to do. Which does not involve shooting at any of you. They are most likely just trying to... Well, they are trying to escape. Keltzer.
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing?
Going to where the laser shot at from.
Okay. Let's see. And how fast does your jetpack go? Or does it even say?
I don't. It says it. Just a jetpack. So I don't know if in one of the. It says.
Let's see here. I was hoping one of the cheat sheets here would have the movement for that.
I mean, considering in canon it's been shown to go as fast as, or be able to keep pace with a ship in atmosphere.
Yeah,
Yeah.
those jetpacks are pretty. They got some oomph to them.
Could just put it at the speed of a speeder.
Yeah, that's fair. Alright. Alright, so you're heading up to one of the buildings. Ozen, that lets you clue in as to which building it must have been.
Yep.
Give me a perception check.
Me?
Yes.
Okay.
You know, as you see which building Kelter's heading for, you know, you glance up, you've got the enhanced senses, so.
13.
Pardon?
13.
Okay. You see the sniper basically standing up and turning around and then running out of sight, you know, where he was right at the edge. You know.
So he's, as I understand, he's on like the roof.
Yes.
Okay.
You know, he's wearing some kind of goggles. You are pretty sure it's a human.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's no Twi'lek tails or any kind of bits or bobs sticking out of his head.
Humanoid, at least. You know, Twi'lek's a humanoid too, but you know what I mean.
Non-accessorized humanoid.
There we go.
And not like any weird bright, you know, crayon colors or anything.
Mm.
All right, so Keltzer, he's gonna take your move to get to the roof of the building.
Okay.
So yeah, you arrive at the roof of the building. Just as you see kind of the access door shutting.
Oh, so he's not jumping. Good. So he didn't bring his own jetpack.
Not everybody can afford a jetpack. I mean, even the other bounty hunter y'all dealt with didn't have a jetpack. He just had boots.
gonna steal his boots.
Only a low-down, dirty dog steal a man's boots. All right. Then we drop down to the sniper, who is just spending his turn, basically running at this point.
Yeah, this is. You said this was like 4 stories.
No, I
4 or
said
5
like 10 or
stories.
20.
15.
10, 15.
Or
Okay,
20,
sorry.
15 or 20.
Misunderstood. Okay.
But yeah, you're spending your entire action moving, so yeah, you're close to the front door of the building.
Yep.
Captain, who are you kneecapping first? I believe you're muted.
Yes, I was, because I've been having to clear my throat a lot. The closest schmuck to me.
All right, that will be the guy that's standing out between your truck and the dead guy's vehicles.
Cool. 5, 6. Okay. 10, 15, 20.
Okay. 20 is definitely a hit because he is within short range.
Okay.
And what are you using a heavy blaster pistol?
No, he's using a scout pistol. It's 3D plus 2.
Okay. What is the short and medium ranges on that?
Short range is 3 to 10. Medium range is 20.
Okay. And that's meter. So yeah, he's in he would be he'll be in short range for you. The rest of them will be in medium.
Okay. And I will clarify his aim is he is not aiming for like center mass or the head. He's specifically trying to like knock them out by like hitting something to like remove them from the fight to make them a non-combatant. Like, kneecap to force them down, or like shoot the arm that's holding their rifle or whatever so they can't really use it. That kind of thing.
I am going to give him. We'll put a +2 on the difficulty index for that. All right. So and what did you roll?
It was a 20 for the hit.
Okay. And it's short range for this guy. Oh, so yeah, you definitely hit him. The little bonus he gets for you not trying to kill him doesn't actually help him that much.
Okay.
All right, he got a 10 on his strength roll.
11 total. Rolled a 9 plus 2.
All right, so he takes a wound. These guys are minions, so yeah, he pretty well goes down and is down.
Okay.
He goes down screaming, grabbing at his kneecap, drops his gun, rolling around on the ground in freakish agony.
He's alive.
He is, and backed as a thing, so he'll even be able to walk like normal eventually.
Yep.
All right, and after the captain, it is BL.
Is there someone within walking distance of BL?
Let's see, how far can BL walk?
Enemy target, Duba. Standard movement, I'd assume.
Let's see. Well, the next closest guys are like 15 to 20 meters away.
We can move how far?
I would assume he'd be able to reach him since Bosun got across the street.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, actually, now I think about it, BL used his movement to get down and around the truck. Because, you knew you're actually moving during your declaration phase.
Okay.
But yes, he should be able to get to them if he wanted to walk up to one next round.
Okay.
But right now, he's got orders to shoot, just not to shoot to kill.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, that's not the button I was looking for.
He has got a blaster rifle. So it's short range for him.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Though everybody over there is taking cover behind the doors of the vehicles, so.
Mm-hmm.
So he's probably shooting for shoulders that are poking up.
Yeah.
Sneak me.
Fifth. Yes. 10. 20.
Alright, roll the damage.
Six, 11, 14, 18.
Alright, he got an 8. So you double that, so yeah, he just goes down like somebody that's been shot. No freakish, no, just by which I mean no screaming and freakish Mutzer. He's clearly unconscious.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And you hear Bill. All right.
Yeah, I figured when the captain told BL to go non-lethal, he'd activate the stun field, which is if he makes contact, is insta damage.
Yeah, he can absolutely run up and try to do that, the next round.
Hmm.
All right, Io.
Granted, it's never lethal damage. It literally only does stun damage. But
oh, that's right. Io had already rolled hers.
Yep.
So yeah, you get over there, you pop that open right quick. You're sticking your equipment in. Next round, you can make your roll to actually start futzing around with stuff. Doc, are you going to shoot somebody?
Sure, I'll shoot the closest guy to us.
All right. These are the guys that are like 20 meters from you.
Alright.
What kind of weapon are you using?
I believe all I've got's a holdout blaster, so it ain't gonna be much.
You don't need much for these guys.
And
The maximum range on a holdout blaster is 12 meters.
well, then I will not be able to do that. Thank you for telling me.
I was thinking we'd given you a regular blaster at some point.
Don't believe so.
Okay, maybe not.
We keep saying we have multiple times, but
My bad. As far as I know, he just had a holdout blaster. I mean, we can always.
No.
I can always bug the captain for an upgrade.
That's a future problem.
So no one's in range to actually fire at.
No, the two closest ones have already been dropped. So
Then he will hold fire until they get closer.
And then the two security guys that are left. One is going to fire at BL. Oh no, I already said these guys were firing at Keltzer. My mistake.
Yep.
All right, Keltzer, they are taking a shot at you.
Okay.
Let's see, where's their blaster?
I guess I'm not dodging, so. Did it say that in the beginning?
No, you can dodge as a reaction.
Yes, you can dodge this reaction.
Is it -1 dice since I'm in the air using my jetpack, or is it regular dice? Oh, full amount.
You'd be using your full amount to dodge with.
Awesome.
At least for the first one.
This is gonna be long range for them. So he needs a 20 at the minimum.
Good luck, buddy.
He did not roll high enough for you to need to dodge him. He just flat out missed. Then his buddy takes a shot. And he also misses. Snipers they are not.
Nope.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, and then next round. The security guards by this vehicle. Number 3 is going to grab his buddy that BL shot and basically drag him into the vehicle and out of the line of fire. So the two of them will be out of the line of fire. Well, once their action comes up. They do actually go last, so.
Assuming someone just goes rogue and murks them.
Doc.
Yes, sir.
Now, one thing Doc might have noticed is that guy in the middle dropped his blaster. And it's a regular, just a regular old blaster. So, bit of range on it.
Well, then he shall move to pick it up.
All right. Yeah, you can move out there and pick it up. Basically, it's part of your move.
Woohoo!
So you're now at between the vehicles. I told you what number 3 we do it. Number 4 of the security guys is still shooting at BL. Or it's going to switch his target to BL because BL took out his buddy.
That's fair.
And Kelter is clearly too far away from them to be able to shoot worth anything with a pistol. So, Doc, are you going to take a shot this round?
Sure, now that he has a new toy to play with.
So you can see where one of the guys that's still up is still taking aim, where the other guy is helping his injured buddy.
If he was going to shoot, he'd go for the one that's still up and able to shoot.
All right. Io.
It's blackout time.
Yeah, she would have calmed what she was doing too, so the group isn't surprised.
Okay. Are you just planning to shut down the lights in the area, or?
Yeah, as wide of an area she can shut the lights down for.
All right. BL. Let's see. You want him to trigger his field and charge into close combat? All right, he will do that. So he goes charging out across the runs past Doc and over amongst the cars. Captain, what are you doing?
He's going to go to the other side of that car and basically just gun to the guy's head.
All right, so you're running. You're basically running across with BL then.
Yeah, and If he can get there, he'll be gun to the guy's head and like, I suggest you drop your weapon.
Okay. Ozen.
Ozen's going up, moving on up.
All right. So you running into the building.
Yep.
Uh,
Going up as high as I can get.
You know, you run as you run into the building. There's a guy sitting at the security desk. You know, at the front, just looking frozen, like he doesn't know what to do.
Don't even pay them any mind. I will. Shit, it won't do. It won't do what I want it to do though. I was gonna activate life sense, but it's not gonna do what I want it to do. Oh, identity. Yes. I got at least the briefest glimpse of this person, right?
Correct.
Mhm.
It was a dude, human, or something very near human.
Okay. Will activate life sense. I have the basic idea in my head, and I'm maybe I don't see him immediately, but I'll know vaguely where to see him. That's a roll. It is very easy, modified by relationship and distance. I'm in the same building, so
Not very distant. Don't have much of a relationship with this person though.
sure. I rolled a 9, which
All right. Now, what does a 9 give you on this?
a 9 would be a 9 would make the DC just flat, and then if you're going to add however much you want to add after that, based on how distant I am and how well I know the person. Force chart.
Yeah. Where is the force chart? Do I have it on my cheat sheets?
Yeah, it'd be really yeah, it'd be up there.
All right, let's see. Not in line of sight, 1 to 1,000 meters. Well, that's +5.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I already didn't make it.
Okay.
Yep. So I'm just headed up.
Your life sits. You know, there's life in the building. That's really all you get.
Sure.
Like I said, the building isn't packed, but it's far from empty.
Yep. Just too many pings at once. I'm like, shit. Never mind.
I don't know any of these people.
Nope. And yeah, I'll go up maybe a couple flights of stairs, and that'll be that.
All right.
However long a double move will get me. A couple flights of stairs, I assume.
Yeah, we'll say a couple flights. So you're running upstairs with no handrails because it's Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. The sniper is going to continue his plan to escape, whatever that plan may be. Keltzer.
So when she got up there, she saw the door closing, right?
Right.
So she'd go run through that door.
All right. So you run, open the door. It's not locked.
Mm-hmm.
You fling the door open, and you see something attached to the inside of the door right before it explodes.
Oh God.
What do I have to roll?
Let me find. Kablooey. All right. This is going to be a strength roll. Add in your armor. It's a mediocre roll. 17 is the number you're wanting to beat.
$23.
Okay.
Nice.
All right, so you beat it but did not double it, so you're stunned.
Do I hear an explosion way on up?
Oh yeah. Well, you're inside the building. You might not hear it. Except you're in the stairwell, and that thing opens into a stairwell. Yeah, on second thought, you would hear the echo. You hear it echo down the stairwell. Those of you outside would hear it.
How was that?
Well, you've heard thermal detonators go off before. You're pretty sure that's not what this was.
Yeah.
Alright, so yeah, so Kelser's stunned, which it just basically means -1 dice. Let's see, Ozone was doing her movement thing. Alright, Captain, you were running up and putting your gun to the guy's head.
Yep.
Give me... You know, right, there's not even really a... What was it you said to him?
He'd say, I suggest you drop your weapon.
Yeah, there's no need for a roll there. Number 4 drops his weapon.
Do I have enough time for a quick combo during my turn?
Oh, what now?
Do I have enough time for a real quick combo during my turn? Or
what else you want to do?
Oh, he'll just be like, what was the point of this?
Oh, convo. Yes, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
You can talk.
I heard combo too.
Oh, combo. No, convo. Sorry.
I thought you had like
Yeah,
another
yeah.
action you want to do. It's like, what do you... Yeah, you can... Can't be a long, drawn-out something.
Yeah. It's like, what was the point of this?
We were bringing you the ransom for Mr. Wayne Kane's daughter.
And for one thing, we never kidnapped her. We were hired to bring her to him.
All we know is we were supposed to meet the kidnappers here. Give them the ransom and take the girl.
Right, so both sides might be played here.
Whatever, pal.
It's the only reason you're not dead.
Alright, that's probably enough talking.
Yeah.
Give BL a roll for his brawl as he runs up and tries to hug number 3.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, not bad. 17.
Alright. And that is... Oh, yeah, it's easy to do, like, just regular old punches and stuff. So, yeah, he runs up behind the guy, the guy who was bending down to grab his buddy and try to haul him into the car. BL rounds that door and just kind of grabs that guy while he's bent down and kind of hoists him up and lets the stun field, take effect. So, roll for the stun field. Versus this guy's strength.
13.
He got a 6. So you doubled him on stun.
For stunned.
Mm-hmm.
Which puts him at a -2, but he is not unconscious. So he's -2 dice in anything he does. Which is basically all of his dice for most of the stuff he does.
Yep.
Well, no, that'd be straight stats. He's still got skills.
Yeah, this one specifically says anyone touching the droid, including during an attack from a melee weapon, when the field is active, takes 4d stun damage.
Yep.
So.
All right, so BL basically got him in a bear hug, letting the stun field do its thing.
Mhm.
Io.
Trying to black it out, or possibly create enough blowback to, electrically F up some machinery, cameras and the like.
Hey.
All right, so what are you doing? Because there's going to be a difference in difficulty.
What would I be rolling for it?
To just black everything out for a little bit would be difficult. So you need a 20. To actually to be damaging equipment and blowing out, cameras and stuff like that, that's going to be very difficult. You need a 30.
What stat would I be using?
Oh, this would be your security, I suppose, because you're bypassing securities and the protections and the redundant backups and stuff they've got. You're shutting a bunch of that stuff off to cause this massive overload.
Trusting in the force, so I'll just roll security twice.
Seems like overkill, but I'm here for it.
She wants to be very sure.
I respect it.
All right, so that is a total of a
55.
55.
5.
I'm not sure that's the highest roll in the game so far, but it's a pretty high one.
I think it is.
It's
It's 18d6, so
Yeah, it's probably the highest roll in the game so far.
I think I got close to it with my 20d6 sniper shot. I want to say. I think it was around there, but I think she just got the highest roll in the game.
she does one thing very well.
And yes, she does.
Ozen. The lights go off in the stairwell.
Okay.
And there's a sudden silence where you can't even hear the ventilation system. That you never even notice hearing. Even with heightened sense, you don't really even notice it. You're so used to hearing that sort of thing until it stopped.
If everything's so quiet with heightened senses, do I hear this guy fucking around?
Up above you, you would probably hear one of the interior doors shutting.
Okay.
In the plaza where you're at, Captain,
Mhm.
and Doc for that matter. Yeah, all the lights turn off.
Okay.
It's now
That-
fairly dark.
That I expect to be something that happens with IO, but the unfamiliar grenade up above, it's like, okay.
Yeah.
It's not,
Yes.
it's not pitch black. Because you still got sunlight coming in from, the block a block away. But everything on your side of the road, everything on IO's side of the road is dark. Let's see, Kelter is standing on the roof. Rattled enough from the explosion, she might or might not realize that all the lights down on ground level have turned off.
If she's stunned, maybe she sees light. She just sees nothing but light right now.
I was gonna say explosion might overload.
Well, she got her helmet on, it would probably protect her from some flash.
Unless it's,
Well, fair enough. All right, and then it is Doc. All the combatants look like they've been neutralized, Doc.
Oh, they're just neutralized? Okay.
You're living that BL life. Everybody's stealing your targets.
Oh, it doesn't bother him whatsoever.
Well, he's a better droid than BL then, because it bothers BL.
Well, BL's designed for one thing. I mean,
That's not true.
I'm sure he has multiple programmings to have different layers, but for the most part, he's designed to fight. So, of course, he's wanting those
He's also a
tally
talented
marks.
actor.
I don't think Star Wars droids won many awards.
No, unfortunately they didn't, but it's okay. Doc still allows BL to come and practice in the medical bay whenever he feels like it.
Well, in BL's original appearance back in the 80s, he faked being a protocol droid pretty well.
That's fair.
Yeah, this is true.
And for anybody that's interested, you can find an entire series of cartoons on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure they've got the Ewok cartoon or not, though. Which is weirdly the one I can remember watching as a child. Alright, and then the security guys, yeah, they're pretty well done. Alright, so what are you guys doing now? There's been
had a
gunfire,
combat?
there's been an explosion, all the power has gone off in the city block.
We had a combat?
Effectively, yeah, because as soon as Doc's thing comes up, that guy's going to be unconscious, I'm sure.
Okay.
Doing the minion rule, he should probably been unconscious already anyway.
Osin on her end heard the guy and is going to activate calm.
Okay.
Makes it. Because she doesn't have any dark side points. And is just gonna keep going up. And try to get roughly where she heard the door slamming.
Okay, give me a perception.
Okay. 10, 14, 15, 16, 17 plus 4 is 21.
Okay. Probably the 17th or 18th floor. Very near the top. You think it came very near the top. But you can't move too quickly because it's dark.
Right.
And there's no handrails.
Yeah. Well, if there's no handrails, looking up, I'll snap hiss the lightsaber just to have a little bit of light and kind of hold it up like that.
Okay, that eliminates the light problem then.
Yep.
You can
and then what she will do is, if it's 17th or 18th, I'm on maybe like the 4th right now if I'm lucky.
You're probably on like the 2nd or 3rd.
Yeah, so I can't get that high yet. It's okay. She's gonna have to truck it.
Okay.
Going up the spiral. I'll comm ahead and be like, think he's on the 17th or sniper's probably on the 17th or 18th, if I had to guess.
All right. What is Keltzer going to be doing?
Oh, she's kind of blinded, right?
Well, no, she's just stunned, which effectively just means -2 to dice rolls.
All right. Well, she'll try to go down the stairs, because how far would that she see that from her since she flew up the building? How many?
You're probably on floor 20.
You're gonna get there much sooner than Ozen is.
Yes.
Yeah. So she's gonna try to start running down the stairs.
Okay. It's dark in here.
16 floors this way, you see a lightsaber.
If you listen closely, you'd probably even hear the hum because there's not much else.
Yeah.
Other than
Only
maybe
if
you
I
hear a
had-
little bit of talking from the hallways, because the power went off in the building and people are stumbling around.
Only if I had the light attachment to my helmet. That.
or low light vision built into the helmet or something.
Something like that.
I mean, good old Doc just has to like focus his eyes a little bit. It's just like, ah, that's better.
But okay, so Ozen told you 18th or 17th. Which floor are you heading towards?
Try 18th. As fast as a droid can run up a set of stairs.
I realized I hadn't actually picked what floor they were on, but I rolled randomly, so now I know what floor they're on. Well, you know, could be important.
Just slightly. Maybe alright.
Maybe a tad important.
All right, so Ozen is coming up the stairs. Kelcher's coming down the stairs.
Mhm.
Out in the plaza, what are y'all doing?
Captain's gonna start hog tying guys and tell them to tend to their wounds.
Okay.
Nice.
Doc, would you like to tend to wounds?
Sure.
You're like, this is what I do best.
Basically. Want me to do multiple medical rolls, one medical roll?
Yes, just give me 2 medical rolls, one for each guy.
Boop.
Or
The
you
other
got
just got
shot.
The third one just got electrocuted. It's fine.
Yeah, he's just got shock and unconsciousness. He's fine. So yeah, you patch up the guy that got shot in the shoulder who's unconscious. You wrap up the one guy's knee and give him some painkillers. And then the captain comes by and ties them up.
And basically, he's gonna set them all up and sort of like crouch down in front of them. All right, so you were told we were kidnappers.
Yes, Mrs. Wayne Kane was kidnapped a week ago. Mr. Wayne Kane had been in talks with the kidnappers, in contact with him some sort of way.
What planet were we on when we got this job? Again, I didn't write down the name.
You were on a small planet that was close to Hilt.
Okay.
I don't think I didn't actually name the little planet.
Right.
He would probably have said she was kidnapped a few weeks ago. I wasn't thinking about travel times involved.
Yeah.
In moving around the sector.
That's very interesting. Because this person that he was in contact with contracted us to bring her back, saying that he was being tracked by the Imperial Remnant and it needed to be done on the down low.
I could certainly see why the Remnant would want her. It would give them a lot of influence. But as far as I know, he wasn't in talks with the Remnant.
No, not your, former boss now. The guy who hired us.
Oh, I see.
The one that he was apparently in talks with.
Well, if you wait around, Corp Sec, I'm sure Corp Sec is scrambling people into this area. I'm sure you could explain it all to them.
And what will you tell Corp Sec?
Exactly what has happened, including what you've just told me.
And that we that we responded to you firing at us and only did so non-lethally?
Absolutely.
What is the roll I need for this?
Perception, I think we've been using for insight checks.
Can I use con to see if he's showing any tells of someone who is trying to pull a fast one?
Oh, that might just be regular perception. But let me look up exactly what con says.
Can you bullshit a bullshitter?
Yeah, that's why I'm asking specifically is can I use con to see if this guy's bullshitting, as opposed to just having perception, see like, do I see a guy? am I using my history having conning people and history working with syndicates
Well,
to
perception isn't just can I see a guy. It's also looking for tails and stuff, which is why con falls under it.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking is can I use con?
No, con is pretty much just you convincing other people.
Okay.
Perception.
So yeah, just perception to try to read this guy that you don't really know that well.
Okay. 15.
This guy's stats at. There we go. All right, this needs to be his con. I mean his attributes. All right, he got an 11. What did you get?
15.
All right. You don't think he's necessarily lying about anything when he says he's going to tell him exactly what he saw. But he clearly expects things to go poorly for you. You know, including the fact that we shot you out lethal. Sure, he was awful quick to agree to that. You get the feeling he is not outright lying, but trying to tell you what you want to hear to make you hang around.
He's using it as a distraction.
Though when he said he would tell security exactly what exactly what happened, but that part you're confident he was being honest about.
Well, I don't think you're going to lie per se, but you clearly expect this to go quite poorly. Why is that?
You have a kidnapped victim with you.
That I will willingly turn over to Corp Sec when they get here.
Well, then I'm sure everything will be fine. He does not think everything will be fine for you. Now, while you're talking to this guy,
he'll tell BL to keep an eye on him, and he'll actually step away from the guy.
What is Io doing on the other side of the street?
Honestly, probably just waiting for any kind of heads up as to what to do.
Okay. Staying by the control panel or going back to the car, to the speeder?
Probably get the speeder and just kind of calm over that. Hey, I'm just gonna kind of drive around, maybe, just so I'm not sitting by a completely fried panel. Unless you guys need me over there.
I'll let you know when I need a ride. Actually, I'll let you know when I need a ride. She's going upstairs.
All right. I'm just gonna circle, maybe not circle the block, but if there's like a nearby fast food joint, she'll go park in the lot there and look like she's fiddling with her comm unit or something.
Mhm.
Okay.
Find the Corp Sec Waffle House.
The fast food place has no power, but
She'll look like she's fiddling with her phone, trying to find another one nearby or something.
Oh.
Just being
Yeah, reception.
boring.
All right. Keltzer, you have gotten. Was it the 18th or 17th floor you were going into?
The 18th floor, I think.
Okay. You step in there. It's dark. You hear people talking. Way down the hallway, you see a little bit of light, like somebody's got a flashlight.
Mm-hmm.
Or whatever they call them in Star Wars.
Yeah, we're back live.
Okay,
cool.
Excellent. Anybody out there watching? Sorry about that.
That was.
I've been having
random.
a few little internet hiccups today, and apparently one of them just hit us. But I think we just missed me Googling that flashlights in Star Wars are called glow rods, so hopefully nothing important. So anyway, Keltzer is on the 18th floor. You hear some of the office workers or janitors or whatever talking to each other. Somebody way down the hallway has got a flashlight. Ozen is still trucking it up steps.
Ozen gets to like the 10th floor, and we'll see if Keltzer does anything first before I jump in that.
Okay. All right, Keltzer, what are you doing?
I guess just going towards the voices.
Someone with a rifle run in here?
Like they could see anything. But yeah, that's what she would ask anyway.
They give a big jump when they're all clustered around the one guy with a glow rod, and suddenly out of the shadows, a fully armored and armed Mando, who looks like something just exploded in her face, steps out. Did you see somebody run by here with a rifle? No.
You sure?
Well, it was dark, but we didn't hear anybody running, and we haven't seen anybody with a rifle except I just look at you. Are you with building security? One of the other guys like, she's not with building security.
Then she'll turn around out the door and go down to the 17th floor.
I like that. Don't answer the questions and walk away.
Ozen gets to like the 10th floor. Just I'm gonna activate light detection again, looking for the guy, and I will trust on the force for this roll.
Okay.
Thank you, God. 25, which I think is exactly the DC I needed.
All right, let's see.
I've gotten much closer to him.
Not in line of sight, so still +5.
Mhm.
Let's see. Relationship. Let's see here. It's +5 for that. And is there a baseline difficulty that goes with this roll, or is it just whatever the chart comes up with?
It's a 5.
Oh, so it's 5 plus.
Yeah, it's 5 plus the other 2 DCs.
And you said you rolled a what?
25.
All right. You get a sense of where he's at. Now, is that like a one-time radar blip, or
no, I
what is
can keep this up, and I'm going to keep this up instead of magnify senses.
Okay. All right, so you know he's up above you.
Just like directly above me?
Not directly above you, but over to the side. Clearly on one of
Sure.
the higher floors.
Okay, then I'm gonna keep. I'm like, okay, cool. I have that. I'm gonna keep that up and.
All right, everybody outside, you're starting to hear sirens, basically. So the question becomes, are you going to wait for Corp Sec to show up?
Wait for Corp Sec or not.
That would be
As-
up to you, Captain. They are at least stable. Though unfortunately, if this is a kidnapping, we do technically have the contraband.
I mean, don't we have some kind of credit with them? We brought back a bunch of kids, gave them information about a cruiser. You talked to that guy on your comm, right?
Yep.
Probably still got the information on it, or some kind of recording or something.
And I wrote up the dossier before we got here. First, I say we work on getting this ironed out.
I'll hang by the fast food place just in case you need somebody outside.
You hear Ozin. I know where he is. I'm just getting up to his damn floor for this sniper.
What? Where?
I'll look up. I'll look up roughly up to where I think it is.
You don't have a clue what floor it's on.
God dang it!
You know, relatively near the top of the building, so you know,
Okay.
still in keeping with what you were already thinking.
But could he also do that for Kelser to see if Kelser was close?
Would
I
probably
don't think he
lose
can
tracking
maintain a
on.
sense on both of you.
I can make
Okay.
unfortunately.
Okay.
I'd say check. I'll check the 17th, and I'll meet you on like 15, I guess.
Okay. So yeah, she'll do what she did. 18th floor. Go into the area.
Okay.
See if anybody's there.
You step in, and again, you hear people talking. Nobody seems to have a glow rod this time.
Mm.
You hear a complaint. How long is it going to take them to get the lights back on? Whoever heard of the lights just going off like that anyway? What if, like, you don't think it's an Imperial attack, do you?
Has anybody ran through past here?
Some dude runs past you as you say that.
No, we haven't seen anybody. Well, I mean, obviously, but I mean, all of us have been moving around some.
But you haven't heard stuff like people running.
No. The one woman goes, I found a coat. I tripped over it in the hallway.
Where in the hallway?
And she kind of takes you back to close the door you just came through, truthfully.
Oh, God. It's further down.
You know, I mean, it's not like right next to the door or anything, but it's... You know, she thought it was weird that somebody was just start, you know, the lights go out and somebody starts chunking clothes off. Well, and it not being at a party.
Fair enough.
Okay. And there are any other doors around this area besides this one?
Well, there's plenty of doors into offices and freshers and break rooms.
She will be checking all that.
She tells you the other. There's a stairwell on the other side of the building too.
How far is that to get there?
It's the other side of the building, so it's a little bit, and it's kind of mirrored, so it's kind of directly across. With the lights on, 5 minutes walk tops, but with the lights off, you'd have to feel along the wall to find the hallways that cut across.
Okay.
Ozen,
Yes.
you got that little bleep.
Is it moving?
It's moving.
Just drops.
Drops quite suddenly.
Jumped out a window.
Do I see it?
No. Ozen,
there
it's
any
basically on the
building?
opposite side of the building from you.
Mhm.
Okay.
It's up
Right,
above you.
Go to
And
the
then
closest.
For the briefest of seconds, it was like right at your level, and then it was below you.
I'll go closest. I'll just get into the closest floor and undo the lightsaber before I get there, and then kind
Alright,
of.
so you're running through an office building with the lightsaber. People scream at the sight of you.
I turned off the lightsaber.
Oh,
Is
turned
what
off,
I
I'm sorry.
said.
Well, in that case, you can't see where you're going.
That's fine. I see what I see. I know the direction this person is. I'll just say, "Pardon me, excuse me, pardon me."
And you keep bumping into walls and stuff, dude. Inside the building, it's pitch black.
You said it on the comms that they jumped out the window.
Yes.
Okay. Kelsey will go back to the area. Look at her. Show me where your windows are.
Well, they're on the outside walls.
Walk me to it.
And she's patting along the wall.
That's Ozen right now. Just like.
Yeah, you're not doing this quickly. It's
Nope.
kind of the point I'm making.
Yep.
But eventually, she gets you to one of the offices with an outside window.
And Kelsey will run and jump out the window and then activate her jetpack and see if she can see anybody running.
All right, give me perception rolls. It is going to be difficult, Bill.
Yeah, no.
Because
I probably.
everything is dark.
The highest I can get is an 18.
Okay, you do not see anybody.
Yeah, that's the highest.
Though outside,
You
you can
trust
hear
the
the
Force?
sirens. And truthfully, you can probably see the lights at this point.
But you can trust in the Force if you really wanted to.
Trust the Force because I'm
Okay.
not getting thrown into any type of jail because somebody decided to kill this guy.
I know what to do to people like me.
$23.
All right, 23.
Ooh, that's pretty good.
It is pretty good. You see. Let's see. You're outside the building. You just managed to spot somebody, on the other side of the road, like running into an alleyway.
Sure. Head that way.
Okay. You have no problems catching up with this person. It's a person on foot, and you've got, you're as fast as a car with a jetpack.
Mm-hmm. And she'll grab him and go up in the air with him if she can.
You hear a very shrill scream. Ah!
Do the rest of us
at
hear
which
that?
point? At which point, you realize you were holding a woman. Oh shoot! What is that species called?
Does Ozen see the blip change direction?
Yes.
Just to make
Is
sure
it
we're not
going-
picking up the wrong person.
Is it going up?
Oh, me sitting there going, is this one of those changelings?
Space changeling.
I don't remember what they're called.
I mean, if it is, it's a, I think it's she. It's SHI''IDO.
Shadow.
Yeah. Or Claudites.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. She just looks human.
Do I see a blip going back up?
How high do you fly, Keltzer?
Pretty high up.
Like above the skyscrapers high, or?
Up to the floor I was at high.
Okay. Then yes, you see the blip come back up.
The hell did you get them?
I think so.
I saw the blip go up. So
Oh,
good job.
She's been screaming the whole time you've had her. You know, put me down, until you get up to a certain height.
Are you sure you want me to put you down?
Let me go, I didn't do anything.
Mm-hmm. Sure you didn't. And with that, Kelser is gonna head back to where everybody, the rest of the group is.
Oh, is it just like on like the 12th or 13th floor, just like gasping for air?
And now it's time to turn around and run back down. So, Captain, you see Keltzer land over by you. She has a woman dressed in typical office clothing. Who seems pretty panicked.
Find a random passerby.
I don't think so. I think Ozen was tracking them. Said something about they dropped down, then came back up. Not too long
so our
after I
sniper.
came up
Okay.
with this person. So
Alright, well, tie her up too.
She's begging you not to hurt her the entire time. She's crying, and oh, she's an ugly crier.
Oh no.
do you have any cloth on you? She'll look at the captain, ask him that
Handkerchief.
question,
Yeah.
or someone, and she'll take that and shut her up.
By this time, Corp Sec ships are coming in, or speeders are coming in. Air speeders, got lights going. You hear a boom over the intercom demanding that everybody drop their weapons.
Marcus put his away, so they're all in their hidden holsters.
I hear out.
Yeah, I'm about to say
That's
Marcus.
right. I've got too many
Other
characters.
gunslingers.
I have way too many characters. The
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
captain. The captain has his weapons already, like, in their holsters.
Okay. The police land. I assume you ordered BL to put his down.
Yeah.
And that Doc has put his down. Does Keltzer disarm?
Takes 40 minutes.
No. I mean, she ain't gonna point it at them, but she'll keep the gun at the lady.
Oh, great.
That gets a bunch of guns pulled on you. Well, not that they weren't already pulled. Put the weapon down.
Keltzer, your armor won't stop all of that.
I know. But I can't afford for her to try to get away.
They tied her up.
He points to that her arms and legs are tied up.
Fine, she'll lower the weapon.
Put the weapon down.
She'll put it away.
Captain just looks exasperated.
Do you put it on the ground?
Kind of, yeah.
Do you
I
put
want
it
it
on the
back.
ground? No, not kind of. Do you sit on the ground and take your hands off of it and straighten back up?
Yeah.
All right, because otherwise they were going to start shooting you. You're an armed combatant at what they're looking at as a terrorist event that won't put their weapon down.
Yep.
You're lucky you guys made warnings that you did.
Because it's Star Wars.
So they start coming out. They start, binding you. They start talking to the security guys who are already bound up. They check one of them's ID. Before he even starts telling them exactly what's happened, he points over at the captain and basically tells them he's concealed his weapons on him. Because he was sitting right there when the captain put his weapons up.
Damn, snitching ass.
Captain will just look at him as like, they're just holstered. I'm not trying to conceal anything. You're free to take them if you
they
wish.
pat you down. They pat you down and they.
Yeah, he didn't actually try to hide the weapons. He's just like, I just put them up.
Well, you mentioned hidden holsters, so.
I said put them in his holster.
Okay. But
I mean, they're not like plainly visible under the coat, but like if they move the coat, they're like right there.
So you're being taken into custody for questioning at the moment.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff to sort out. Io, what are you doing as all this goes down?
Probably heading. Well, She will calm R2 and tell R2 to secure the ship. And if anyone tries to get onto the ship or mess with the ship or look sideways at the ship, to contact her. Do not attempt to contact the captain or other crew because they are currently in custody. She will then try to find somewhere where she can do a little bit more research on the guy they were dealing with, the father, as well as look up the name of the guy that gave them the initial mission and see if there's any kind of, if it's a completely fake name or what, and probably look more into the event that happened on planet before they left as far as getting more information.
All right. Ozen,
Yes.
what are you doing?
I can real quick. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Before the captain does get hauled off, he will go over to the truck and he'll like tell the officers like, "Come here," and he'll open the truck, have the loader droid pull out the crate, and all that. So he will literally like open it up. It's like, you might want to get her seen too.
Yeah, they're like, get something that can haul freight and
There's a loader droid right there.
The truck right here.
Hospital, I guess.
He points, loader droid, truck.
Well, okay, that's fair.
I mean,
he tells the loader, droid, put it back on the truck.
We just want that droid back.
Off the truck.
I'm getting any kind of respect here. Ozen is going to doesn't know what's happened out there yet. Probably heard sirens. It's like sending something specifically to Io and be like, Io, you good?
Like calm?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not with the others. I'm not gonna go back there and be like, "Hey, arrest me too."
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at as well.
Where are you at
Give it-
exactly? I can circle around.
Give it like give it like 20 minutes. I'm at the Hilt Arms apartments here.
Okay, I know it's out of character for you, but don't do anything stupid.
You're not in an apartment. You're in an office building.
Oh, never mind then.
You're on the
Office
13th
building.
floor of an office building.
Oh, I've been moving down this whole time. This shit's been going down.
Oh, okay.
So
then you're probably on like the 8th floor of an office building.
Yep. I'm gonna be down at the lobby, very tired. A very tired old lady. Can you assist a very tired old lady in like, I don't know, 30 minutes?
I would suggest moving out of the office building because they'll probably search the area.
We need lights to do that.
I assume with the sirens also come, light beams and searchlights and droids. So
All right, Ozen. If you were going to try to get out of the building without being seen, give me a hide sneak.
Yep.
I mean, obviously you're going out the side opposite the plaza, so you're not walking out into the big crowd of them, but there's still going to be people patrolling around.
So, question: does keeping a bead on this person count as something heroic enough to regain my point immediately?
No.
Okay, thought I'd ask. Ooh, that's pretty good. 17.
Okay, that is indeed pretty good. And it is certainly good enough. So you finally get to the doors on the opposite side. You managed to avoid any security people that are in the building.
Mhm.
Not that you've seen a whole lot of those, but you get to the front door. You look out. You kind of step back as a patrol vehicle goes by. You hustle across the street. You keep low and you keep the alleys, and you get a few blocks away where you figure it's safe for Io to pick you up. So
At some point, I just do the tired old lady shtick.
is it a lightsaber? No, it's just my walking stick. It glows.
No, she doesn't have a walking stick. She just does like the hunched over back because she's really tired after going effectively 30 flights of stairs.
too much cardio.
And then I'll radio IO my coordinates.
Yep, she'll swing by.
All right, so we're going to wrap here with Oz and Io still breathing the sweet air of freedom, and everybody else on their way to a Corp Sec interrogation room.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry, Corp Sec does not employ torture
Much.
But next session, you're going to have some splaining to do.
Makes sense.
So I hope y'all had fun. I certainly had fun with this one.
I'm sure you did.
I hope anybody that came by to watch had fun. Anybody that comes by and watches this or listens to the audio later. I hope you join us next time. If you're looking for some more games in between now and then, though, Jeremy, what else have we got on Dire Bear?
I'm glad you asked. So tune in tomorrow for False Skull and Nights with JT. Thursday might be a Night's Ransom with Pink Rambo, depending on how things go. Been a little on and off, but we're here for them. And Saturday is the Stolen Cities, I believe, still with Alex. And Monday is the Wild Beyond the Witchlight. And I gotta tell you, every time I see that the description, it's like, say what now? It doesn't sound like anything previous to that session is like a coherent storyline, and I'm kind of here for it. Module's wild. And then come back and see us on Tuesday for Remnant Shadow, Star Wars actual play.
And we will see y'all then. Bye-bye.
Bye.